feel for where I'm at here. Oh, I bet photos would be really useful. Where's the box that I got that out of? Here we go. So, yeah. I bet you'd love to see what this guy's supposed to look like. This is the Lancer. It might be Les Simier piece. I can't remember who the manufacturer is on this. I think this was the photo that came with the model, and then this one was one I was trying to print, and then my printer ran out of color. Sometimes it's good to have several different versions of a printout or an image, because the reds and that are going to look a little bit different. So I kind of like to see a couple different versions of it. I do that a lot when I'm downloading photos from the internet. I'll download 4 or 5 versions of the same image, because the color's going to... It's like the printing process. When you get a book that's printed with a famous painting, you should have 4 or 5 different versions of that painting, because each printing process is going to be different, and it's going to be have a little more green in one or a little more red in one. So I like to mix it up a little bit and get, a variety of impressions. And it depends on my workspace and what I'm doing. Sometimes I'll hold my piece like this with my photo with the Lincoln. You can see I've actually glued the photos onto the board that I'm using, so that they're just there. And it's real handy for me to see. And I guess another thing I should do is put my work glasses on, because I'm sitting there looking at it like I can't see it. I am pretty blind. And normally I work with 2 glasses of water. One is for cleaning and one is for dipping. Usually the little one is my dipping one and my big one is cleaning, but I started a bit different today. And then you can also do your cleaning thoroughly in there, and then make sure the rest of it is off by cleaning in the clean water, and you don't get any contaminations. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go a little lighter. I'm going to do some add some drama to this, and I'm going to add some light grays. I like this combination over here a little better. Let's see, more brown. Now we need more blue. Some white, and I need more white. This is basically a really fast version of how I paint with oil paints. My oil painting technique is real similar, only I don't have to worry about colors drying on my palette really quickly. The more water and paint that you have with the acrylics, the slower it will dry, but you still have to work pretty fast. If you're having a problem in your glazing and you're having a problem with it drying, I use this Winsor Newton watercolor blending medium, and it slows drying pretty well, but you have to be careful with it, because if you add too much, it gets a shine to it. And I recently went to buy more of this product, and they've changed their packaging, which scares me, because it leads me to believe they're probably changing their formula, which Winsor Newton has done with their brushes and some paints, and I'm not real happy with them, but hopefully it's the same product. Okay, let's see what we got here. Let's see, let's do a highlight on the top of the, what is this feather piece called, Jim? A plume? There's no special Napoleonic word for it.
Le plume.
Le plume. Now I'm overdoing it because I can go back in after that's dry. Yeah, if you can, there's not a lot of people here, so if you want to stand up and crowd me, I don't get claustrophobic. I have to stop and think about where my light's coming from here. It's coming from this direction. So I'm just going to quickly go in and put some highlights in. And if you are noticing on my palette, the paint is actually very thin. It's, I don't know, people like, well, what's it like? Is it the consistency of milk? Well, it depends on what kind of milk you drink, I guess. This is probably regular milk, not 2% milk. It's a little thicker than water.
What are you using for your palette?
This is just a tile that I got at a tile store. It's a ceramic tile. I like ceramic and glass because the acrylic cleans up very, very nicely with Windex. And out of your these glass objects too, I just put a little Windex in there. If I forget to clean up my mess before I leave town or whatever and come back to a bunch of crust, just spray Windex on it and go away for 10 minutes. And when you come back, you can just take a palette knife or a piece of tissue, and cleans up very quickly. Now I'm just doing this roughly, and I'm doing it at an angle for the demonstration. I will go back in, you know, when I get settled into my workroom and mess with it a little bit. We're going to have a cast shadow in here, so I'm going to put a highlight on here, but this highlight will eventually be toned down quite a bit because of the cast shadow, but I deal with that usually towards the end of the grayscale process. And then my process involves, as you can see, I'll start with a middle tone gray, and then I'll come in with a dark and put some darks in, and then I'll go to the highlight, and then I'll go back to a middle tone, and then I'll put some more darks in. And so it's a push and pull type of thing. I go back and forth with the values. I don't paint all the darks first and then go to a middle tone. It's a definite back and forth, and especially when I'm getting down to the end of the painting process, then I'll sit and work and mess. I'll have a full palette and I'll sit and work and mess with it back and forth, and in very, I don't know what you call it, macro. In one area, I'll really focus on balancing the light and shadow. But you can see already the drama that just that light, the lights that I have put in there